An FBI-led multi-nation crackdown on criminals around the world. Operation Trojan's Shield has led to the arrest of over 800 suspects in 18 countries. Drug smuggling, money laundering and other criminal activities were brought under the radar of law enforcement agencies. And as you'll see in this report, they used an encrypted phone sting.
Raids across 18 countries, over 800 suspects arrested, drugs, firearms, cash and luxury goods seized. All under one worldwide sting, Operation Trojan Shield. Hundreds of suspects were arrested after criminal gangs were tricked into using a messaging app secretly being run by the FBI. As per the police, criminal gangs thought that the encrypted app called non-partisan was safe from snooping. Little did they know it was a trap and that millions of messages on the app were monitored by the authorities. Messages about drug smuggling, money laundering and even planned killings. Operation Trojan Shield by FBI, along with Europol and law enforcement agencies in a dozen more countries, has resulted in a massive global crackdown.
Hundreds of law enforcement operations on a global scale, from New Zealand and Australia to Europe and the USA, with impressive results. More than 800 arrests, more than 700 locations searched, more than 8 tons of cocaine and more.
The success of Operation Trojan Shield is a result of tremendous innovation, dedication, and unprecedented international collaboration.
The seeds of the sting were sown in 2018 by Australian police and FBI. Law enforcement agencies had taken down 2 encrypted platforms, EncroChat and Sky ECC. These platforms were earlier used by criminal gangs to organize drug trafficking and underworld hits. With gangs hunting for a new means of communication, the FBI stepped in with a covertly developed app, non-partisan, that was installed on modified mobile phones. In the last 18 months, FBI provided phones via unsuspecting middlemen to more than 300 gangs operating in over 100 nations.
The criminals using these devices believed they were secretly planning crimes far beneath the radar of law enforcement. But in reality, the criminals were not underneath the radar, they were on it. The FBI was monitoring those conversations. The very devices that the criminals used to hide their crimes were actually a beacon for law enforcement. The criminal users didn't know that for more than 18 months, the FBI captured more than 27 million messages between users around the world who had their criminal discussions reviewed, recorded, and translated by the FBI.
Operation Ironside by Australian police and FBI ensnared suspects in Australia, Asia, South America and the Middle East in the global narcotics trade. Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison said that the operation struck a heavy blow against organised crime around the world. Australia has arrested 224 people and New Zealand has detained 35. In Sweden, the police say several planned killings were prevented and that a dozen criminals were arrested. The Finnish police detained about 100 people and more than 500 kgs of drugs were confiscated. Weapons and cash were seized too. In Germany, more than 70 people were arrested and drugs, cash and weapons were sealed. non-partisan was taken down on Monday. More than 27 million messages from about 12,000 devices in 45 languages have been collected. About 9,000 of these devices are currently active in Germany, Netherlands, Spain, Australia and Serbia. While the investigation was primarily focused on drug trafficking and money laundering, the crackdown has also unraveled some high-level public corruption cases. Bureau Report, WION World is One.